record button. We're recording here. We're recording here.
So should we do the introduction or just continue?
You do an introduction.
All right. All right, good afternoon. No. Hi, my name is Arthur Arsenault. I'm here with Mike Daly, and we're here to talk about the second segment for our series. And it's regarding healthcare, more specifically Medicare and how that affects healthcare. So I guess when people talk about Medicare and they want to know more stuff, more information, like for me, I'm always have to re-educate and how many parts are there to Medicare and how complicated it is, and what's new for 2017 and 18.
Yeah, so the different parts of Medicare, we list Part A, B, C, so we can go through those real quick. Medicare Part A covers hospitalization, and that's free for almost all Americans. Essentially, if you've worked 10 years and you've contributed into the Medicare tax, that's covered for you in retirement. So everybody gets that, essentially everybody gets that for free. Medicare Part B covers doctor visits and tests. And we pay $134 per month premium this year, and that premium generally goes up for most years. And then there's Medicare Part D, prescription drug coverage. It's going to be less than what your Medicare Part B costs are, but still it's a premium you got to pay every month for that prescription drug coverage. The donut hole, all that good stuff is within there. And then there's supplemental insurance. You might know that as Medigap. Now, people might opt for a supplemental insurance policy because when you combine that with Medicare Parts A, B, and D, you've got essentially the coverage that you're probably used to while working. Say you're on an employer-sponsored group HMO plan, where you're paying these premiums every month, but your out-of-pocket costs are going to be much more stable, particularly in the event of a medical emergency or some sort of reason when you would have higher costs. That supplemental insurance will help ease the out-of-pocket burden in those years.
So folks that are working, they have their healthcare covered, they have the premiums, and it's kind of manageable. When they retire or going forward, and they have less money, how do folks managing in the future? What's going to be like?
No, that's a big concern, right? It's one of the top concerns
Absolutely.
of Americans heading into retirement, and rightfully so. Now, you're right. Some people may be on more of a fixed income in retirement. Also, while you're working, your employer is covering on average 70-75% of your healthcare costs, right? When you get to retirement, it's all on you, right? Other than that Medicare Part A being covered already by what you've already contributed, you're paying the majority of the cost yourself. And now someone may hear, oh, okay, $134 for Medicare Part B, that's not too bad. Part D is even less than that, that's not good, I can handle that. But here's the issue. Healthcare costs inflate at about double typical inflation. We see trends going back decades showing that it's always around twice what US inflation is. We're projecting about 5.5% on retirement healthcare cost inflation year over year throughout the near future. So even if costs seem reasonable today, they're going to grow and grow and grow over time and take up a bigger piece of the retirement planning pie.
And then folks who probably are healthy now tend not to be so healthy. So it almost seems it gets worse in retirement and as you get older.
A lot of people when they're 65, they'll go on Medicare. And a lot of people, fortunately, are quite healthy at that point. I don't need supplemental insurance. I don't need all this coverage. I'm healthy as a horse. 5 years later, when you're 70, things could certainly be a lot different. We hope not, but they certainly could be. So it's good to be prepared.
Right, exactly. So a couple retiring today, what would be the typical, say, retirement age? But what are the projected costs?
Sure.
For folks today. What's the projected cost?
Yeah, so it does add up. So for a 65-year-old couple retiring today, now we're going to assume that they're healthy, but a man would live to around 87 and a woman around to 89. Their retirement health care costs would be a little over $550,000 combined. Now that's in future dollars, just to make that clear. Now that's what their costs are going to be. And it's kind of ironic almost in a way, where because they're healthier, they're living a lot longer. They have all those extra years, right? Somebody unhealthy, sure, they're going to pay more year to year, but the healthy folks are going to be living a heck of a lot longer, and they're going to be paying even greater retirement health care costs. So it's not uncommon for a couple retiring today to be looking at $500,000 throughout their lifetime.
That's incredible.
It is something to be really good to be prepared for.
Right. So when they put this number at $1 million to retire, that's almost half, which is the budget buster for municipalities and a bunch of folks
Absolutely,
like that. Right?
absolutely.
So what is the most surprising fact about Medicare? like, what, when you talk to people, they say, wow, I
Mhm.
mean, I didn't know that about Medicare.
Well, there's a lot of them, but I think the ones that really stick out, when somebody retires and they might have a choice of what state they want to live in. Maybe they have multiple properties, maybe they don't have the restrictions of a job, they can move. They're probably considering factors like the cost of living in each state, the taxes they'd have to pay, proximity to family and friends, all very important. What they're probably not thinking about though is the cost of retirement health care in each state. It actually varies from state to state. People don't realize, even though Medicare is a federal program, costs do vary from state to state. For example, Medicare Part D, that's again prescription drug coverage, in Wisconsin costs 33% more than it does in New Mexico for the exact same coverage.
Wow.
Supplemental insurance, this one's even bigger of a discrepancy. In Massachusetts, it's 49% more than it is in Hawaii. So if you're looking for an excuse to move to Hawaii and retire there, I just gave you one. It's a heck of a lot cheaper for supplemental insurance.
Lots of good excuses to move to
Exactly,
Hawaii, right?
Cool.